So here is Ally, which is a high yield savings account. This is an account that I've been using for the last 3 months. I opened it up because I wanted to try it out. I've heard some really cool things about it, as well as some other high yield savings accounts, which I gave you information on in the article that I shared with you on different high yield savings account. If you do not want to use Ally, I am currently using Ally, so I'm going to just show you how to set up the account. So how to open the account. I'm not going to go through the full process, but I'll show you where you have to go on the website. And then I'll also show you what it looks like once you open the account and how you can set up your savings buckets, distribute money between the savings buckets, change the name on them, target date your goals, all that good fun stuff, right? So I really enjoy using Ally because it's really simple to use, and it's just very easy, and visually it's appealing, which is always nice. But when you go onto the main Ally page, you're going to click checking and savings and open account. You're going to click savings, scroll down, and as you see right here, you're actually earning 0.75% interest on your money in this savings account. Okay. You are allowed 6 withdrawals per statement cycle. Okay. And the rate is variable. It may change after the account is open. So it may go down. So when I initially opened the account 3 months ago, the interest rate was at 0.50%. And then it has actually increased over the last 3 months, which is pretty cool. So as things change and the with the interest rates, you will see increases or you might see it go back down, but it will always be more than what you're going to get in your regular checking and savings account. So that's pretty cool. So you'll click open account. And then you're going to go through this process. So read this. I'm going to read this here. Fraudsters sometimes offer you money to open an account, then use your information to access your assets. Don't open an account because someone you've never met in person asks you to, and don't share your bank login information with anyone. The reason why I pointed that out, because when I initially set up or did the application to open my online savings account, I actually had to wait because I have my credit froze, which protects me from anyone opening accounts without my knowledge. So basically, what would happen is if someone tried to open an account using my social security number and my name, I would be contacted before anyone could authorize that account to be open and ask me, are you the person that's trying to open this account? Or they just will not be able to run the information, and then they'll decline the person because they don't have access to go into my credit because I have froze it. So what happened is I had to wait and I had to unfreeze my credit temporarily so that this application could be approved for me to open this online savings account. I recommend you freeze your credit to protect yourself from anything happening that like that. But that is why when you go through this application, they ask for your social security number and all your personal information, because they need to make sure that it's you that's actually opening the savings account so that no one is fraudulently or illegally using your information to wire and transfer money back and forth without your knowledge. And then how maybe a year or so from now, you see some bad activity happening under your name and you had no idea. So that's just a quick something that I wasn't expecting to happen, because I actually forgot that I had froze it, because it's just something that I did to protect my information. But when it was time to pull that information to open this account, I had to unfreeze it. So if you are that person, unfreeze it and then apply for this account if you decide to open an online savings account. So you're going to click, I am not an existing Ally customer. Now, I may get an error message because I've been going through this a couple of times. So, they may say, okay, you've done this too many times. What are you doing? And so if that's the case, you know, that's what's happening. You'll click the option here of what type of account you want to set up. So if you're just opening it for yourself, you'll click individual. Just click the option that applies to your situation when you are opening the account. You want online savings to be clicked, okay? And then you're going to add this account. So now you see here, they couldn't process because I've been going through the screen a bunch of times just to make sure everything was okay when I recorded the video. So what you'll do is you'll go to the next page and put in your personal information. That's going to be your name, your address, your social security number, date of birth. All of that stuff is going to go into the next page. Then you'll hit next, and they'll have you review it, make sure it's accurate. Then you'll be able to submit the application. And if you choose to deposit money at the time you complete the application, you can do that. You'll put in your banking information for your outside bank that you're going to pull the money from to transfer into your online savings account. And then however much you want to deposit, you can do that then. But you do not have to deposit money at that time. I deposited money after the account was actually opened. And then you will enroll. Okay. Then you'll get an email that says, yay, you are enrolled. And then you'll be able to log into your online savings account. So this is what it is going to look like once you log in and you get started, and now you have your online savings account. So this is where we're going to do the savings buckets and all of that stuff. Okay. So this is my account that I set up a few months ago for my savings buckets because I was originally using my regular my regular savings account with my bank, and I wanted to put the money somewhere where it was one growing with more interest, and it was also somewhere where I could access it quickly. So yes, you have to wait a couple of days for the money to be transferred from this account to your primary account, but it's not in let's say an IRA or an investment account where if I pull the money out, I'm going to be taxed really high, right? Or have it negatively affect my money and have to pay penalties on it because I pulled it out of the account too early. So this is actual money that you have access to right away where there's no penalties to pull the money out. That is why I also like the online savings account. So here you'll see it's blurred out because I, want to protect the information, but you would click here. There's a hyperlink that's going to bring you into your account so that you can see all the activity that's going on. May have me log out and log back in, but let's see. Okay, so here is the account. This is showing the available balance. It's showing the annual percentage yield, and it'll also show you some activity that's been going on since you opened the account. So like I said, I've only had this open for a few months. I was trying it out and I'm loving it. And then down here is the fun part. So this is where your savings buckets are set up. Now, these savings buckets were already in here when I opened the account. I didn't make any changes except for this one, which I'll show you what's going on here because we'll make the changes so that you can see how you can do it. So everything was already here when I created the account, these savings buckets, and I haven't changed the names or anything else. I basically have just everything going into the core savings. I didn't really feel like setting up the different savings buckets right now, but I recommend that you set them up. Get everything, your goals, your target date, get everything set up so that it's in place. And don't be a slacker like me, okay? But joking aside, I just have everything going into my core savings because I know what everything is for. But like I said, I want you to use this feature for what its purpose is for. So to change the name on these savings buckets, you would simply click here and then you would edit bucket. Now, here is where you can change the name. You can change it to whatever you want it to be. Okay. So I'm going to put it back to car care because that was one of our savings buckets on our budget spreadsheet. Now here, I am going to delete that because I want to show you from the beginning. So this is what it's going to look like when you first go in there. There's no goal set up, but you can actually set up one. So you're going to click Get Started. And then here is where you can put the target amount and then the target date. Now, this is really exciting because that is what we filled out on our goal setting sheet. We put the target date and the good amount, right? And you can also use this savings bucket and this online savings account for that. So it's going to keep you on track, and it's also going to show you your progress real time. So let's say we'll use the same example of the target amount being $500 that we used in our goal setting. And then the target date was 5 months from now, right? So this is May. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's say October 31st. Okay. And we're going to set the goal. So now see, there you have it. Good job. You set a savings goal for this bucket. So it's showing you that the start date is today and you'll be done. Your target date to finish and reach that goal is October 31st, which is pretty awesome. So now you can just close that out. And now you see your tracker right here on the main page. You don't even have to go into that savings bucket to see the tracker and see your progress. So I'm going to show you how you can distribute money from one savings bucket. So for example, my core savings to my other savings bucket. And I'm also going to show you how you can distribute or transfer money into a specific savings bucket directly from your outside bank account. So first, let's do from one savings bucket to another. Okay, so let's click distribute. And then I'm going to actually close this here so you have some more screen. Okay, so if I wanted to move money from my core savings to my car care savings bucket, see here, all I'm going to do is click this drop down, core savings, and it's going to go to car care. And the amount that I want to transfer, let's say it's $5. And then I'll click submit. And just that simple, core savings, $5 went into my car care. Now, if I want to transfer money from one savings bucket to multiple buckets, I would simply click this option here, scroll down to distribute your money. And then here is where you can start moving money around. So maybe I want to put $100 in my education bucket, and I want to do 200 for tax payment bucket. Remember, we had that holiday saving bucket. So maybe I want to do $167 there. And then we had the car insurance bucket. I want to do $60 there. And then I'll just leave the rest in my core savings. So you see, it's already breaking it down. Okay. And then at the bottom here, it says you're distributing $532 of your money to your buckets. So I'm just going to click distribute. And now you see how that money is broken down. So you'll see it right here. And it also shows you by percentage. Okay. And then you can close this. And then now you see that everything is no longer in core savings. It's now distributed between the savings buckets. Pretty simple, right? Awesome. So now I'm going to show you how to transfer money into one specific savings bucket from your outside bank account. So you can click the savings bucket. We'll use this one as an example. Okay. And then we are going to, where is it? So now, because we have already allocated the separation of money to the different buckets, so we have certain percentages going into different buckets, the way that you can transfer into a specific savings bucket is you would have to actually go through the transfer option, which is up here at the top. So I'm going to show you that. It's a little different than if you didn't have any distribution set up between the savings buckets, which is fine. So you'll go to the top and click transfer. And then you're going to select the account, which would be your outside banking account. Okay. And then this is your ally account. So it's just blurred out, but this would be your ally account. And in here, you can put the amount that you want to go into a specific savings bucket. So let's just say I want to do $10, and then I would select bucket amount. And then I am going to have $10 go into car care. Okay. And then save. So now when I do my transfer from my outside bank account into my Ally account, it's going to go into the car care. And then I can put, if it's a one-time transfer, if I want to do it every week, you have every 2 weeks, 15 days, 14 days. You have different options of how often the frequency of how often you want that to happen. You can also do the delivery date. So what date do you want it actually to end be in your savings account with Ally, okay? And then you'll click review transfer. Now, this is all blurred out because there's a lot of personal information on here, but you would do review transfer. So that is how you set up the distribution between the accounts. And that is also how you transfer money into your savings bucket. So now if you decide that you no longer want to distribute the money the way that you have it set up, you can simply click distribute, and you can click multiples again, distribute your money, and then you can change this back to the way that it was, and then hit distribute. So now everything is in that core savings, you see? And then you can close. Now everything is back in your core savings, okay? And then you can hit close. So now you see that everything is back at zero except for your core savings. So there's a lot of wiggle room to change things based on what works best for you, and have fun with it. Okay. So if you decide to use Ally as your online savings account, this should be helpful to get you started as far as setting up your savings buckets and really playing around with things and moving money around in different places and just seeing your money grow and seeing you working and reaching your target dates and your goals. So if you decide to use Ally, awesome. If not, I would love to know how you like the other online savings accounts and if they offer these options here. I know a couple of them do, but this is just the one that I chose to use. Later.